Is that right? And now a new offense here.
Yeah.
I mean, that's a lot of offenses in like 7 years. How challenging is that?
I think it's great. I think, when people say that's a bad thing, I think it's a great thing. I think you obviously want to have continuality with a certain person, but at the end of the day, you're learning from each person's backgrounds. I think of Coach Dayball at Alabama, Sark, Mike Loxley. So it's like you're getting different coaching backgrounds from everywhere. And then obviously, in New England, you get a lot of good coaching there too. So, and then here with Doug has been awesome. He's a great quarterback mind, and like I said, I'm taking from each coach, taking what I want and what I want to know and what I want to learn. And it's been a great time here. I feel like I've learned a lot about offensive football here. So I'm definitely going to try and add that to my game.
Is this a different style of offense, level of offense?
Yeah.
Is it deeper? How does this work?
I think it's a mixed bag. I think we do a lot of things really well. Just being here for the last couple months, it's very detailed. Attention to detail is there. I don't think there's a lot of drop-off from each group, which is really good. Sometimes that's hard. Maybe the ones look really good, but then the twos and threes not so much. So I think that just shows that the coaches are doing a great job in the meetings, and the quarterbacks and players are all communicating. So I think that's important with every team, and I think the offense is very versatile. I think it's deep, short, and in the middle. So it's kind of everything in between. So it's been good.
Doug, what's maybe one thing that's really kind of stuck with you or been really impressed with you that you took from Doug?
I think it's just straightforwardness. I think he's not going to tell you lies. He's going to tell you what it is. It's the truth. And it's also, he does it in a very, quarterback friendly way because he's played, right? So, he's going to tell us to go out there and rip it. Maybe we had a bad practice and he says, hey, you guys just keep ripping it, have fun and try and make great decisions, but also try some throws, because at the end of the day, if you don't try, you will never know if you can make the throw. And I think practice is a great time to do that. So I learned that from him, obviously a lot of things. And like I said, the attention to detail and team meetings and everything I've been really impressed with. And that carries out through the whole staff, through the whole organization. So definitely been pleased with that.
You have to compete for the second string job, right? But how do you kind of keep that competitiveness but know the guy you're competing against is still a teammate? How do you kind of balance that mentality for yourself?
Yeah, I've competed my whole life, and I find great joy in competition. I try to just be myself. I'm not going to change because of one thing or another. And like I said, I think we have a great room here. Trevor and CJ, they've been awesome, and I feel like we're brothers in there, and that's what you want. And you want to bounce ideas off each other and compete every day. And sometimes we have these net challenges and stuff, and it's like three brothers out there just throwing the ball around. So we compete in that regard. We compete in every other regard. But at the end of the day, we're on the same team. And we're all working for a common goal, and that's every good team that I've been on. That's the case, The bad ones, not so much.
Coach was saying CJ stepped up in a way and kind of been a mentor for you. How has he done that, and maybe any tips or something that's kind of stuck with you?
Yeah, I mean, CJ's obviously been fortunate to play in this league for a long time, and he's a great dude. Definitely love the conversations we have, but he's taught me a lot. I think, he was in San Francisco, so there's some things that I ran at Alabama and whatnot that are similar, and we always talk about certain plays like that. So he's very smart and hardworking, and I think the group just fits together really well.
Other than the obvious that you're playing against other people, what's the biggest difference for you in a joint practice with the Buccaneers versus a normal one for you guys?
Yeah, I think it's a really cool opportunity, and I've been fortunate to be in a couple joint practices and experience it, and I really enjoy them. It's different when you're in college. You don't ever, go against another team. But for the young guys, I think it's good because you're like, hey, you're practicing against another team. It brings a little bit more juice out. And I do think that it was a clean practice both days, which is sometimes hard to do. But I really thought that both teams did a good job, and it's a lot of fun. I mean, you compete, you see different looks, you can try different throws that maybe you wouldn't try, and now it's always weird when you have to play in the game now too, because you've practiced all week, and then now you're going to go into the game having known what they've done, but it can always switch as well.
How different is it when you get into that game atmosphere now?
Yeah, it just depends. Every team's different. I mean, some people don't show much, and some people show a lot. So you have to be ready for both sides of the story. And at the end of the day, it's about going out there, having fun, and just sticking to my rules and try not to do too much.
How much did Doug warn you guys about no fighting in these two practices?
Yeah, he was really concerned about me fighting people. So.
Everybody.
Yeah, I know. I think he was very straightforward. I think we have professionals on our team, and I feel like the old guys did a good job. Like when you're young, you're going against another team. There's some competitive juices going, but I think they explained hey, fellas, we're not here to fight. And like I said, I think Tampa Bay did a great job of doing that and being professional. And I think it's just hats off to both head coaches for making that happen, right? It's tough. Sometimes you see fights break out and it ruins the practice, but I felt like it was good.
Mac Jones versus Vita Vea, go.
Yeah, that's a big dude right there. I remember I played against him my rookie year, and yeah, they got a talented group over there. And not only that, the scheme is really good. So he's definitely got a couple pounds on me, even though I'm a little heavy right now.
How wild is it, out of the 6 quarterbacks on the field over these 2 days,
Yeah.
2 of them played high school football here in Jacksonville?
Yeah, it's pretty cool. You know, John, obviously, I've watched him for a long time. He's a little older than me, and got a chance to throw with him and train with him a few times. And he's a great dude, and he's earned everything he's gotten. He's fought for everything, and seems like he's a great guy. And I got a chance to train with him in the offseason a little bit. Same with Kyle, so and Baker as well. Obviously, Baker's journey, something that's inspiring for me and a lot of quarterbacks. You know, it's not going to be perfect from the start to the finish. You might go up and down, and then he kind of found his little home. So hopefully that, you know, can be inspiration for me and many others. And obviously I'm focused on right now and being on this team and being great. So, but yeah, I think it's a great group of people. And like you said, to have 2 guys from Jacksonville, it's big motivation for a great football city, a great football town with really good youth sports and high school sports. So I'm definitely looking forward to watching some of that this fall.
We're going to do 2 more, JP and Zach.
You might not get much, as a backup, you might not get much time in the regular season, practice time,
Yeah.
and playing time. So how do you approach these next 2 games knowing that? Right?
Yeah, I think it's different, right? You know, some years you're the starter and you may not be playing much. It's a lot of times the coach's decision, but I always want to get out there and play as much as I can. And I think that's good whether you're the starter, backup, third, or fourth. It doesn't matter. You want the reps in the game. I think that's really beneficial for the young people. And I don't try and put too much pressure on these games. I think it's 2 games that are very important, but for a lot of people, they might not even be playing. But for a lot of people, it's very important. So you have to understand that. And I'm just looking forward to competing. And it's not all going to be perfect, but you got to learn from it and continue to build momentum into the season.
Have you talked to Baker about that at all, whether it was here in training, just the inspiration that you've gotten from his story?
I talked to him a little bit last year, I think, or 2 years ago when he was on the Panthers. And, yeah, we talked a little bit. And I just enjoy watching quarterbacks' journeys, and everyone's is different. And I can definitely find motivation from that one. And, you know, maybe I'll pick his brain a little bit more. But he's a great quarterback he's fighting back and has done a good job of that. And I think a lot of people can take note. Cool. Thank y'all.
What's up? How's it going?
You've been in this league for a long time, so, you know, how big are these next 2 weeks for you personally, just to put some more things out there on tape for this offense?
Yeah, I mean, I don't try to make a bigger deal than what it is. I think every day you're just trying to do your best and put your best foot forward, but the bigger the moment you make it, I feel like the more stress you bring upon yourself, and there's just no need for that. Yeah, I mean, being 8 years in, I've seen a lot, been through a lot, so I feel like I'm mature in that sense. But yeah.
You're still competing for the second string job with Mac. I want to know your mentality. How do you balance, right, that competition, but also knowing this is a teammate of yours and there's a lot to go for?
I mean, it's just the same that I've done literally my whole life. I mean, since I was in high school, it's they're your friends. You know, there's no bad blood. It's like I'm boys with Mac, I'm boys with Trevor, and you know, we get along really well together. We laugh a lot together. So it'd be a lot harder if it was a tough situation as far as like personality wise. But Mac's a great dude. He's easy to get along with. So we're just having fun. I mean, we're going out, we're all putting our best foot forward each and every day, trying to be our best, and you know, whatever happens. That's all you can do.
About this wide receiver room, just compared to the times you've been around here the last couple of years, what does this group as a whole feel like right now?
Yeah, I mean, I think it's a definitely well-rounded, well-put-together group. We got Gabe in the offseason, drafted BT, obviously, and I think those 2 guys are going to help us a lot. And even below them, the guys that we have that have been here a year in the system are going to be that much better just being in the offense. And understanding their role and the routes and the offense better. I think it's a much better, well-oiled machine than it was a year ago for sure.
Mac's been obviously through a lot. Were you wondering what his head would be like when he got here? Would he be, upset? You know what I mean? And how was he? And how impressive was it that he's just sort of kind of water off a duck's back with that kind of stuff?
Yeah, I mean, I definitely wasn't like wondering that, but like I when he got here, I was kind of just wondering what kind of guy he was, because I had never met him, never knew anything, and I mean, he's just a great dude, easy to get along with, has fun, really happy-go-lucky out there, and it's cool to see that. And yeah, like you said, a guy that's been through a lot. I can understand, certain situations. We both been through things in our careers, and to be able to handle it and just kind of go with the punches and roll with it, it's impressive.
If you had to pinpoint any significant difference at all in Trevor this year, I mean, compared to this year, compared to this time last year, what would you say it is?
I think just his confidence in the system. Being 3 years in, I think he's taken more ownership in the offense and what he likes and what he doesn't like. He's not afraid to tell Press or Doug that he doesn't want that play called. He doesn't like that play. Whereas maybe in years past he would run a play just to appease coaches or whatever. But now I think he's taking more ownership of it and telling guys how he wants certain routes run. This way or else you won't get the ball type of thing.
You've been in the league for a while and you've been in different positions, right? How important is that mentorship for a guy like Mac from you, who's a little younger, who might still have a rejuvenation of a career still left ahead of him?
Yeah, definitely. I mean, I think it's a lot. I mean, I think I feel like I'm at a place in my life and my career where whatever situation I'm put in, I'm just trying to do the best that I can, wherever that is, however that is. And like you said, Trevor and Mac are both going on year 4, and they're younger, and I feel like I have some veteran role model type things that I can try to teach them. I just kind of, but at the same time, it makes me sound old. I don't like looking at myself like that. I don't feel old. I don't feel like I'm that much older than those guys when I'm in the quarterback room with them. But yeah, anytime that I can add any value to anything, I'll definitely try to do that.
Thanks, CJ.
Thanks.